Welcome back to Good Sir Custom Cards, the 69th best custom card channel. Today, we take a look at the Piltover and Zaun archetypes based on League of Legends and the series Arcane. So without further ado, let's start with the Piltover monsters. Jace, Defender of Piltover, is a light warrior monster. It has these abilities. On summon allows you to add one hex deck spell, trap card from your deck to your hand. If a monster effect is activated, you can change Jace's battle position. Then if he is equipped with a hex deck equip card, you can destroy one monster your opponent controls. His first effect is a reference to his invention of hex deck in Arcane. His second effect is a reference to his stance change in League of Legends. The next character is a real fan favorite in League, Ezreal, Explorer of Piltover. This level 3 light warrior has these abilities. On summon he allows you to send one other Piltover monster from your deck to your grave. If you activate a hex deck spell card, you can target one spell, trap card your opponent controls, destroy it. So like a real marksman, he can use arcane energy to blast the back row. Another character that is not in Arcane is Camille, Shadow of Piltover. This level 5 Dark Machine has the following abilities. You can target one hex deck equip spell you control, special summon this card from the hand, then equip it to this monster. If this card battles a monster, you can banish one Piltover monster from your grave to destroy that opponent's monster before damage calculation. The first effect is a reference to her craving more hex deck upgrades. Let's continue with some arcane-based characters like Vi, Enforcer of Piltover. This level 6 Dark Warrior is also treated as a Zaun monster in reference to her heritage. You can banish one light or dark monster from your grave to special summon this from the hand, then apply the correct effect. Light, add one hex deck card from your grave to your hand. Dark, destroy one face-up card your opponent controls. Your opponent cannot target other monsters you control for attacks. The reason Vi wanted to be an enforcer in Piltover is the lovely Caitlyn, Sharif of Piltover. This light warrior monster can be special summoned from the hand by discarding one card when you normal summon a Piltover monster. On summon allows you to add one other Piltover monster from your deck to your hand. If your opponent special summons a monster, you can equip one hex deck equip card from your deck to a monster you control. So as the Sharif, she calls upon her subjects for battle. This advice was given to her by Ambessa, advisor to Piltover. A twisted ally in Arcane. This Dark Warrior monster cannot be normal summoned set and must be special summoned by banishing two light and or dark monsters from your grave. Then apply the correct effects based on the types of monsters banished. Light, special summon one Piltover monster from your hand. Dark, banish all monsters from your opponent's grave. Gains 200 attack for each banished monster, also deals piercing damage. Our final Piltover monster is Jace's mentor, Heimerdinger, Hexventer of Piltover. This light beast monster cannot be normal summoned set and must be special summoned by banishing one light monster and one hex deck card from your grave. On summon, allows you to summon turret tokens up to the number of hex deck cards in your grave. If your opponent special summons a monster or sets a spell, trap card, you contribute one turret token or hex deck spell card to destroy that card. The tokens are a reference to one of his abilities in League, while his second effect is a reference to his fear of Hexdeck in Arcane. Let's continue with the citizens of the Undercity. Singed, Chemist of Zaun, is a dark spellcaster with these abilities. On summon, allows you to add one Zaun trap card from your deck to your hand. If this card is destroyed, you can special summon one other Zaun monster from your deck. It gains 1000 attack, but its effects are negated. His second effect is a reference to him calling upon Warwick in Arcane when caught by the Enforcers. He also mentored Victor, Herald of Zaun. He is also treated as a Piltover monster as a reference to his heritage in Arcane. On summon allows you to special summon one Piltover or Zaun monster that is in your grave or banishment, then you can equip it with one hex deck card from your hand or grave. If a card you control would be destroyed, you can banish one hex deck card you control or from your grave instead. His effect is a reference to his healing of the people of Zaun with hex deck. One of the most amazing citizens of Zaun is Echo, Spirit of Zaun. This level 3 light psychic monster allows you to banish one Zaun card from your deck on summon. If your opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish this card, and if you do, return that monster to the hand. During the end phase, if you activated this effect, special summon this banished card, then add one other banished Zaun card to your hand. His effects are a reference to his time travel abilities. With this goals to improve the lives of the people of Zaun, he hopes for the blessing of the next character. Janna, Winds of Zaun, is a light fairy monster with these abilities. If your opponent activates a monster effect while you control 2 or more Zaun monsters, you can return all Zaun monsters to the hand to negate that effect and return that opponent's monster to the hand, then special summon this card. You can banish this card from the grave to protect your Zaun cards from destruction. Next is everybody's favorite lucky charm, Jinx. Chaos of Zaun is a dark psychic monster with these abilities. You can banish one light and or dark monster to special summon this card from the hand. Then apply the correct effect, light, special summon one Zaun monster from your hand, a dark. This gains this effect once per turn when your opponent activates a spell, trap card. You can tribute one Zaun monster to negate the activation of that card and set it to your side of the field. The counterpart to Heimerdinger in Piltover might be the next character, Ziggs. Explosive of Zaun is a dark beast that cannot be normal summoned, set, must first be special summoned by banishing one hex deck card and one dark monster from your grave. On summon, allows you to summon bomb tokens up to the number of hex deck cards in your grave. If your opponent activates a card or effect, you can tribute one bomb token to destroy one card your opponent controls, then inflict 500 damage to both players. Our final Zaun creature is known as Warwick, Wrath of Zaun, formerly Vunda. This dark beast warrior cannot be normal summoned, set, and must first be special summoned by banishing 2 light and or dark monsters, then apply the appropriate effects. Light, draw 1 card for each light monster banished to summon this card. Dark, change all your opponent's monsters to face down defense position. Also this card deals piercing battle damage. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls. Because both archetypes are based on fictional cities, they both have their own field spell card. The upper city of Piltover boosts the attack and defense of all Piltover monsters by 500. On activation allows you to add 1 Piltover monster from your deck to your hand by placing 1 card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. If a light monster is banished, you can normal summon 1 Piltover monster in addition to your normal summon set. So a typical search field spell card. The Undercity of Zaun reduces the attack and defense of all monsters except Zaun monsters by 500. On activation allows you to add 1 Zaun monster from your deck to your hand by sending 1 monster from your hand to the grave. If a dark monster is banished, you can banish 1 card from your opponent's grave, then if you control a Zaun monster inflict 500 damage to your opponent. So another typical search field spell, but with another additional effect. After seeing the cities, let's check out the great hex deck available. Hex Deck Gate is a continuous spell card with this effect. You can target 1 Hex Deck equipped spell card you control, special summon the monster that is listed in its card text from your deck, then equip the target to it. If this card is sent to the grave, you can add 1 of your banished Hex Deck cards to your hand. So let's check out these equipped cards. All Hex Deck equipped spells can only be equipped to a light or dark monster. First we have Hex Deck Mercury Hammer. The equipped monster gains this effect once per turn. You can target 1 monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to the equipped monster. Destroy it. If this card is equipped to Jace, you can add 1 Hex Deck Mercury Cannon from your deck to your hand. Hex Deck Mercury Cannon is the transformed version of the hammer. The equipped monster gains this effect once per turn. You can destroy all other cards in this card's column, but this card cannot declare an attack this turn. If this card is equipped to Jace, you can add 1 Hex Deck Mercury Hammer from your deck to your hand. The fact that both Mercury weapons search one another is a reference to Jace's stance change in League. Hex Deck Atlas Gauntlets once were mining gauntlets, but now allow the equipped monster to attack all monsters your opponent controls once each during each battle phase. If this card is equipped to Vi and she battles an opponent's monster, destroy that monster after damage calculation. Hex Deck Heart is a mechanical heart that in the lore is placed in Camille. The equipped monster gains this effect once per turn. You can target 1 monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of the turn, then if this card is equipped to Camille, return all cards in adjacent zones to the target to their owner's hand, so an effect in reference to one of her abilities in League. Hex Deck Rifle is the last Hex Deck card that lists a Piltover monster. The equipped monster gains these effects once per turn. You can banish 1 random card from your opponent's hand face down until the end of the turn. If this card is equipped to Caitlyn, you can discard 1 card to look at your opponent's hand and banish 1 monster from their hand. This is a quick effect, so she can snipe the cards out of your opponent's hand. Hex Deck Core can bring back one light or dark monster from your grave by banishing one other light or dark monster from your grave, then equip this card to it. This is in reference to the resurrection of Victor by the core at the cost of the life of Sky. The equipped monster gains 500 attack and defense. If equipped to Victor, he cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Victor's other weapon is the Hex Deck Claw. The equipped monster gains this effect. Once per turn, you can target one spell, trap card your opponent controls, destroy it. If this card is equipped to Victor, you can destroy all spell, trap cards your opponent controls instead. Some great spell, trap card removal is always a benefit. Hex Deck Z Drive is the weapon built by Echo. The equipped monster gains these effects. You can target one banished card, add it to your hand, during your opponent's turn. If this card is equipped to Echo, you can target one other monster and banish it. If this card leaves the field, because Echo was banished, you can add this card from the grave to your hand, so an extension to the abilities of Echo's monster effects. Our final Hex Deck card is Hex Deck Fishbones, Rocket Launcher modified by Jinx. The equipped monster gains these effects. You can target one face-up spell card, destroy it. This is in reference to the rocket Jinx fired at Piltover at the end of Season 1 of Arcane, during your opponent's turn. If equipped to Jinx, you can send this card to the grave, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. So an effect as devastating as a real rocket launcher. If you remember earlier in the video, I mentioned that Singed Search is a Zaun trap, so let's check out his options. Zaun Insanity Potion allows you to special summon one Zaun monster from your grave, then if you summon Singed with this effect, switch its attack and defense, but negate its effects. If Singed is sent to the grave, you can add this card from your grave to your hand. This trap is in reference to one of his attacks in League. Your other option is the continuous trap card, Zaun Shimmer Lab. It allows you during the main phase, if you control a Zaun monster, to add one other Shimmer card from your deck to your hand. It can also boost the attack of one Zaun monster you control by 500. Also, it cannot be destroyed by card effects, but its effects are negated. So let's check out these other Shimmer cards. Shimmer Injection is a quick play spell card. It allows you to special summon one dark Zaun monster from your deck or grave by destroying one Zaun monster you control, but destroy it during the end phase of the next turn. You can banish this card from the grave to add one Zaun card from your grave to your hand. Using Shimmer always comes at a cost. Your other option is Flood of Shimmer. This trap card has this effect: target as many as possible Zaun monsters you control, destroy them, then banish up to that many monsters your opponent controls. When your opponent declares an attack on a Zaun monster, you can banish this card from the grave to double your battling monster's attack during damage calculation. I hope you enjoyed my Arcane and League of Legends based archetype. If there are more League characters you want to see become part of the Yu-Gi-Oh card base, leave it in the comments. Don't forget to leave a comment, like and subscribe for more custom cards.